Hi, I'm Tim Bradley, Senior Director of Training at the Chicago Area Runners Association. Hopefully, you guys are getting excited for the upcoming Autumn Trail Chase, which will be coming up November 13th. And that is CARA's last trail race of the season. And it is an 8K, which can always be a tricky distance. So today I thought I'd walk you guys through a couple 8K pacing strategies. So when you're looking at 8K racing, a couple things to consider. So it is a little bit under 5 miles. Most of you are probably familiar with it if you've ever done the Shamrock Shuffle. So yeah, it's right at 4.97 miles. And for most people, that'll be about an 85 to 90% effort level. So obviously the fitter you are, typically you can kind of run your engine a little bit closer to 90% or higher. If you're a little bit less fit, then usually it's going to be more of a mid to upper 80s effort level. But one saying that is very common in 8K racing is kind of the race, in quotes, does not start until mile 2. And really that just means that you kind of have to click off a couple miles before you get to a little bit more, workable distance and you can start pushing the pace a little bit more. So sometimes folks will approach it as like a 5K and I just add a few miles, but you really want to think of it as something where the race really doesn't start till a couple miles in. So you want to kind of just keep a nice even pace and, kind of hold back a little bit before you get to, around 3 miles. And then you can kind of start pushing it a little bit more. This is also a distance where even or negative splits really can pay off. So a lot of times in a 5K, you can get away with a more aggressive pace and it's not as important to run even splits, but certainly when you get to 8K, if you're pretty disciplined about it and you can run even or negative splits, you really can benefit from that the last mile and half mile of the race. So there's enough distance where that strategy can really start to pay off. It's always good, of course, to break down your splits. So this is just a common goal time. You could certainly use this approach with any goal time that you have, but a simple 40-minute goal time for 8K, that would be right around 8:03 pace. And essentially you're going to keep it nice and even for the first couple miles, try to pick it up around mile 3 and 4. And then if you've got something left in the tank, make your last mile the fastest. So hopefully that is helpful. And that gives you a good idea of how to break down an 8K and how to race it. And we hope to see you November 13th at the Autumn Trail Chase.